Sunday. Monster Truck Extravaganza. All children under 13 get in for free. Welcome to another episode of Perfectly Misfit, where we fucking wing this shit. Every fucking week, we just do what we do. We fucking say what the fuck we want to say, and this week's no different, but except for the fact we've got a banger this week, guys. It's usually just me and Dan. Occasionally we'll have a guest. Usually it's somebody nobody's ever fucking heard of or very few of you have heard of. But this week, the most illustrious of guests, we got fucking Zach Amico today. Holy shit, brother.
International superstar, baby.
The comedy sniper. The comedy sniper himself. You know him from the Real Ass Podcast. You know him from Zach Amico's Spook Show. You know him from fucking Bye Guys. You saw him last week on Legion of Skanks. Fucking Capital Wrestling, right? It is Capital now, right?
It's Catalyst now.
It's Catalyst now. Shit, I knew I got it wrong.
No problem, boss.
Catalyst Wrestling. One of my favorite episodes of Are You Garbage? NYU graduate. He was on, I believe you were on Chippa last week as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to be on next week.
Fucking, yo, I love you on Chip Chipperson so much just because you're a fan. You're like, you're not.
I'm marking out the entire time. Like, it never stops. The bit never stops being fun. Like,
you and Zia should be perfect, like permanent, like guests, because you both just feed into it. It's so smooth and flawless. I love it.
The amount of times I've ruined social situations by doing Chip to a room full of people who don't know what I'm doing. They just think I'm wildly unfunny.
Zach,
and then they're like, he's a professional comedian.
Literally, you brought that up in the past month or two on Chippa, where your wife has now banned you from doing it in bed. This motherfucker will do.
No. I'm banned from doing Chip at the dinner table. I'm banned from doing Uncle Paul in bed.
Oh, Uncle Paul. That's what I was going to say. Oh, yeah.
I was in a huge group of people outside of a movie premiere, and not one person knew what I was doing, and I just kept doing Chip until everyone walked away from me.
We're just giving them a bunch of fuck yeah.
I couldn't stop, and they all were just like, "What's wrong with this fucking guy?"
Dude,
and it was just me crying, laughing.
I have a Chippa shirt where it's just him with the hat going "Malade," and like, I don't think I've had a single person fucking recognize that shit. I've had people recognize my Your Mom's House shirts, but the Chippa one is like super fucking. I've actually had somebody be like, someone actually stop me and go, "Luis J. Gomez?" I'm like, "No, I'm Renee. I'm just wearing the shirt." But meanwhile, the Chippa shirt never gets recognized
because it's a level underneath a level of fandom.
Yeah. You have to be a Norton fan, and then you could be a.
Yeah, it's my fucking sun and my moon and my stars.
Zach, man, I miss you, bro. I haven't seen you in almost 3 years now. I've been away from New York. October makes 3 fucking years since I've been gone, and I'll be back in the next couple months. So hopefully I'll get to run into you. I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, happy to be here, brother. I've known you for a long time.
Yeah, shit. We're going on 12 fucking years. Yeah, I've been doing this show for a year, and it took me this long to get my shit together and ask you.
No problem. I actually feel that one of the I have a very embarrassing story with Renee, and I was so humiliated by it. And I'm really glad that I've kind of been around good comedy stuff with him, because I started comedy, Dan, as a barker. I would sell tickets, and we had an off night at the club I worked at, where my boss came and got me and went, "Listen, Aziz Ansari is going to do a headliner set. Do you have any friends that want to come for free?" So I texted Renee. He showed up with a date. I gave him free tickets. As Aziz was supposed to go on, he texted the club. Now, I know what really happened is another club saw him on our website and said, "You can't do drop-ins here anymore if you perform with our competition." I know that now. But he basically said that he double booked himself.
Wow.
And I had given free tickets to a bunch of people who were sitting through the whole show. and we wound up getting Neil Brennan to come in and do a set. But it was so fucking embarrassing because I told all these people that Aziz is at my club, and
And that's like during Aziz's prime too.
I was
Yeah.
fucking
He was hot as
humiliated.
fuck.
This was 2010, and honestly, I literally thought you were gonna say the embarrassing part where you got me to host for you at an open mic, and I ate dog shit.
Oh no! If I'm right, I felt so bad for Renee that I went up to the club and I comped his bill, right?
Yeah, he paid for my 2-drink
Paid his
minimum.
bill.
Yeah, you did.
Because
Yeah.
I felt so embarrassed. And I mean, listen, my buddy just got back from overseas. He served. He thought he was coming to a Z show. I feel really bad. So the money I made selling tickets that night, I paid his bill with because I was so embarrassed. The money I made selling
Neil Brennan, though.
It was fun. The money I made off of all the girls that walked by that I sold tickets to, I kept.
Nice.
As Neil was going on, I ran into the subway so that no one could find me.
Oh yeah.
So I did keep the rest of the money, but I paid Renee's bill, and then a girl who I really liked had also gone to the show and sent me the angriest text message ever, which was like, "You don't have to lie to get me into your comedy club," and then never spoke to me again.
Oh shit, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Dan, do you know you know who Neil?
Still Neil Brennan, man.
I was gonna say, do you know Neil?
Fuck to see.
Yeah, that was definitely like, you know, I was hardcore disappointed because, like Dan said, that was the prime of Aziz. This was like, you know, finger popping Aziz, like seriously, you know, fish hooking Aziz. But like, yeah. So honestly, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, it's always stuck with me because like that job is such a liar's job. But then when I actually would have good things, it would always fall apart like that.
Yeah, you don't want to like bullshit your friends. You fucking hustle the marks, the tourists.
Yeah,
that was the whole
but
thing.
Then also, it's just like people like, well, you sold me tickets to these people, and it's like, well, yeah, but it's also a 15-minute spot in the, you know, a nothing club. So like, yeah, people cancel all the time, or you know, people get stuck in traffic.
So actually, it's kind of funny. You reminded me now. I'm really grateful you paid my bill that day because I actually got a parking ticket that day. I didn't realize I parked in front of a fucking funeral home that had one parking spot. Literally, it was one parking spot. It was around the corner from that fucking club.
Exactly where you're talking.
And I guess I just didn't dawn on me to look up at these two fucking posts. I guess maybe I thought it was the awning posts, but it was a no parking anytime. And your boy came out to like probably a good $60 ticket, which is probably about
so
how much.
That block was Bleecker and McDougal, which is where I used to stand and sell tickets. So now, whenever I get something big, like my first Comedy Central taping, anytime I get like something huge, I go and stand on my corner for 20 minutes that I used to sell tickets on.
To remind yourself, to humble yourself.
To humble myself and be like, you used to stand here and beg people to see comedy shows you weren't on.
You had to sell tickets to get time on stage. Now look at you, motherfucker.
So that's what I do now. Every time if I book any like big show, anything, I stand on my corner for 20 minutes. And it's I don't know if it's the look I have or whatever. Every time I do it to this day, someone will come up to me and go, "You selling tickets?" I just have something
without even not saying anything, no tickets in your hand.
Phone. There's something about me that I look like I'm up to something.
Dude, I bet you it's probably the old owners. Just like they probably live around the corner and they see you like propping up, and they're like, "Yo, do me a favor. Here's $20. Go ask that guy he's selling tickets."
Well, I had a ton of regulars, so like people like enjoyed doing business with me because I was so fucking like cruelly honest. And then I would just like when I sold tickets, I had people that would hit me up, and I would just go meet them at their house and sell them bundles. Because I would tell them the lineup before it went on the club's website,
like the actual lineup.
And when good people were on it, I would hit them up.
So Dan, when he said earlier it's a liar's game, I don't know if you know about what barking really is. Is like
I do actually, because some asshole, I'm not naming names, Renee, turned me on to Legion of Skanks a couple of years ago, and I've been listening to, obviously stories, even in rap, from Lewis talking about his days doing it.
Yeah,
how much he lied and all that shit.
He had a team
And-
of liars. That was the best part.
And like some of those stories are my favorite stories about that stuff. I didn't know that you did that, and that's even fucking better because I've like knowing we've been trying to do this for a while, right? We've been talking in and out with about doing this with you, and like I'm a fan, but like I got over a week to go and watch a bunch of your shit, like your roast battle shit, dude. How quick you are with that shit, and I'm not sucking your dick here, but like how quick you are with that is, and how witty those responses are and shit is like some of the best. Like I laugh so fucking hard every time I watch that shit. And just I wish I could walk around. I'm from Buttfuck,
So something
Michigan.
something that
We don't have that shit.
something that you don't get to see, unfortunately, is Zach's epitome of roasting, which is the naked roasts. And like it is a strict rule, no phones out, nobody's allowed to record except whoever, like maybe there's like a few minutes that'll be like recorded by whoever's like professionally hired by Skankfest for the naked roasts. So Dan, I'm gonna tell you, man, one day maybe we need to like try and fucking fly out to either Vegas or wherever they're gonna do their next after this one, Skankfest. Because if you love Zach's fucking roast battles, and those are like years and years old at this point, his
Yeah,
fucking
like 4 or 5
naked
years
roasts,
old.
bro. Like, especially because Dan's a huge wrestling fan. Zach's one of my favorite fucking entries is at the naked roast is he did the fucking Bray Wyatt where he fucking he did the fucking music. Yeah, he had the he had the
No,
like,
old Bray Wyatt with the lantern.
old Bray,
Oh, okay.
yeah, where he like
Firefly song.
lights off, only lights on. We're like on fucking people's cell phones or
Oh, yeah,
fucking
dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh,
lighters.
Yeah, the
No,
Firefly
but hold on.
thing.
Yeah, but then he fucking walks up to the stage in a robe, drops the robe, and then proceeds to fucking hang that lantern off his fucking dick and balls. That was just how we started. Oh.
So I honestly, that's funny as fuck because I didn't know he came out to Fireflies, but they have talked about it on.
He
Legion
no,
of
but he
Skanks.
just does it different every year. That was just that
Okay.
year. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
every year I do a different bit, and
Oh,
I
nice.
was that was like right when Bray went to main roster, and I had that idea, and then I was like, oh, I gotta hang the lantern off my dick because everyone would. That's when people would do the Firefly shit.
Right,
Like, if
right.
I could time the lantern off my dick and
Right,
swing
you have
my
a
dick to it.
piercing though, right?
Yeah, with Prince
That you
Albert.
tied it on.
He's got a Prince Albert.
I put a mountain climbing clip through it, so I can
Yeah,
hook
fucking
shit up.
he put a carabiner through his
Oh,
fucking dick hole. It said clink, and then just was
So
like,
I've heard about
greatest-
this.
greatest
Legion
intro
of
ever.
Skanks or rap, I can't remember, but no one ever said you came out to Bray Wyatt. But that even makes that whole like vision you get 100 times better.
you know, fucking Skankfest is a 3-day event. I believe that was Saturday night, and like I was ripping and roaring baked, and I was just like, what's going on? And then like I look behind me and I was almost in the back row and I see Zach in a robe. I'm like, oh, it felt like that was literally as good as going to a WWE event. I haven't been to one yet, but like just the chills, the like nothing compares to Skankfest as well, man. Like
That was
that's
the year it got wild. That was the year the bar was set. That's when it got wild. That's the same year I cut myself.
yeah, yo, that's right. The
I have
gusher.
a fucking
Yeah, that's
see
right.
that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Um,
digged yourself for it?
So he
Well,
he
okay,
does
so
he
I
does
I
stunt.
dig a lot, but I used to bleed a lot in my old band. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna go blade, and then I don't know. I guess I was excited, and I don't know what happened,
You just went too
and I
deep
walked
in the
out.
car,
And
huh?
So yeah, normally
Yeah,
he
I
just
went-
does his,
it
you
was
normally just
so
do your
much.
regular stunts with the staple gun, and like he will
Yeah.
let you like he'll do like $1 on the stomach, $5 on the chest, $10 on the face. I have something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you
like he'll
Dusty Rhodes the shit out of yourself?
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, my forehead is a fucking wreck.
My man
Oh, dude, it's like
sells.
Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, baby.
This dude sells. hard. And
That's
that's
So yeah,
awesome.
that year was a bad one. That was, besides my really bad wrestling cut, that was the year that was like, oh shit, Zach almost died. And then so I'm on stage. It's the last battle. I'm covered in staples. I'm naked. I'm covered in money. I'm bleeding profusely. Keith Carey and Lindsay Jennings are on stage with me. They both ran when I walked on stage. I mean, just covered in blood.
Lindsay
And
Jennings
then,
is a Suicide Girl. She was and a comedian, so that was great.
so I'm on stage and I look and I hear people start to pop, and I turn around and Ari Shafir is standing up, pissing in a beer cup, and he fills a pint glass, and he looks at me and I look at him, and I have one moment where I go, he's gonna throw it at you. And then I go,
Obviously.
that's really funny. But when he went to do it, I went, oh no. But I also went, oh no. And he just hit me full in my mouth, full glass of piss. And people went nuts. It was so fucking funny. People
So
were like, weren't you mad at him? And I'm like, no, it was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing he could have done. And then so I'm fine with it. Super, super silly. And I'm covered in piss. And people are like, aren't you like gonna like fight him? I'm like, no, guys, like, don't you realize that's the best outcome of this entire he beat
Right.
and then later he said something along the line. People were like, why'd you do it? He goes, well, I looked at Zach and he shot me a look like you should throw it at me. And that's what a sociopath Ari is me going, oh no, is what made him go, I gotta do that. I'm sorry, I gotta fight a cat real quick.
No,
That's
you're
all
good.
right,
That's
dude.
just that's Ari though. That's Ari Shafir, fucking Captain Mayhem, and that's like the same thing with the dosing thing.
Yeah, Zach. By
No,
the way,
it's
that's a regular thing on the show is us fighting our pets. I have a 115-pound dog. He has like 5 dogs. Yeah, so
I
That's a
have
regular
a
don't.
rescue
So
dog.
he throws the beer at me. By the way, I barely know him. Now I would consider Ari a friend. I barely know him. We get to I go home. I
So
take a
much
shower
even
real quick,
better.
and I go to the after party, and Ari's out front, and he calls me over. He goes, "Hey, I hope everything's okay." I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, it was super funny. I don't mind at all." And he goes, "Do you need a beer or something?" And I thought he was gonna like be cool and buy me a beer. He takes a warm beer out of his backpack and hands it to me. He goes, "Here, I don't want this," and walks away. A man that I mean, a person who, it's not a lack of social skills, it's a lack of human awareness.
this dude
That's
is
admirable.
autistic.
10 minutes ago, he threw a cup of piss on you, and now he's giving
Yeah.
you a piss warm
He
beer.
handed me a warm beer out of his bag that somebody had given him, like it was like
I don't want this.
Now we're even.
We're
This
good,
was gonna
right?
cost- yeah, this is going to cost you upwards of $6.
That's fucking awesome. I've always been a fan of Ari, and no offense, I know it's shitting on you, but that just made me like Ari so much more.
Oh no, it's very funny.
Dan, this was the same year that the feature musical act was called Dwarf Amongst Midgets. That Skate Fest was yes. That the only greatest part about that was that I got to go home every night. It was like a festival that I didn't have to like pay for a hotel. I just literally got to take a 35-minute train and go home afterwards. And it was like whenever like Sam Tripoli stopped DJing, or he was just like spiraling out so much that he was playing like Gregorian fucking chants, like monk chanting music.
Obviously, though, that Dwarf Amongst Midgets was like a fucking midget band.
No, they're actually my
thank
two
God.
buddies. I forgot what the fuck their names
By the way,
are.
Zach, I am deathly afraid of midgets. It is my irrational fear.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Do I like even like seeing a midget on TV? Like I just watched the new Jackass movie, and I had to turn away every time Wee Man was on TV because
Now, Dan, since we're going down this fucking path, now tell them who you just had front row tickets for that canceled on you.
I bought front row VIP tickets for Brad Williams.
This fucking
He
lunatic.
was supposed to come to town
He's
on
going to
Saturday,
be the
but it
worst.
canceled last minute.
He would have been the worst audience member.
Front
I
row,
could just picture
VIP, VIP meet and greets. I was gonna wear aviator
A meet and
glasses
shriek.
and aviator glasses, and I was gonna duct tape the inside so you can't see that I can't see, and
Yeah.
pretend I was blind.
Yeah, a good comedian would never point that out if you're in the fucking front row.
So,
No. Yeah, that's a great idea, Dan.
It was on point in my opinion, but thankfully he canceled. I mean, like I wanted to go, and I'm really disappointed. But I have the show that's coming up that just like I bought same tickets for Soder. Soder's coming to Grand Rapids,
Who ironically looks like a very tall midget.
Yeah, he does with that head of his.
Yeah, but he's also a wrestling fan too, and I have a meet and greet for him as well, so I can bullshit about wrestling with him for a second, and that's all I ever wanted to do.
Oh. Zach, this is Lobo.
Excellent. My cat Gus has been attacking all the wires, and he pulled my light out, and he pulled my headphones out.
I saw that a couple of times, and it was funny as fuck, and I didn't want to say anything because you were also on a roll with something else.
No, he's driving. He's feral. He was living in a garage that we found him in, and he just makes it a point to destroy anything and everything.
Yeah, I have
Speaking of
I just rescued a couple months ago, and he's the same thing. He'll come down. All of a sudden I'll yell, like I'll just shriek because he just came up and bit me. Because that's how he says he loves you.
Oh no, Zach will appreciate the fact that we had to end an episode because this dog decided to fucking take a shit in the middle of the kitchen mid-episode.
Night one.
That's very funny.
It's
and it wasn't even like a little dude. It was like massive. I'm in the middle. We're getting close to the closing segment, and I just caught it out of the corner of my eye.
Like, I gotta go.
And it's like the biggest dog shit I have ever seen in my life. And I just like all the fun of that. We had a great episode. All the fun of all that. And I went, I gotta end this shit because I gotta pick up my dog's shit. Like, this is brand new dog. Just got him that day. So like, obviously you can't. I'm not mad. Like it's like quite possibly the funniest way.
Seriously, that was probably one of our best endings ever.
So we got this kitten because our cat's getting older. We wanted to make sure he had somebody to hang out with. But my older cat Seymour, we've had for a number of years now. We also found him outside, and he's a little nuts. But he and I, if my wife's not in bed, we sleep back to back. So he'll sleep one way, and I'll sleep the other way. But we always sleep touching each other.
I thought you meant you and your wife. You and the cat sleep back to back.
Me and the cat sleep back. If she's not in bed, me and the cat always sleep back to back. So a few weeks ago, she comes in and she takes the cover off of us. And, I'm a big fat guy wearing fucking gym shorts to bed, so my ass is out. The cat's next to me, and he's getting old, so sometimes, like, he'll go to the litter box, but, like, take it back with him. So there's just a perfect turd between us. Always sunny. With one perfect turd exactly between it. And she's like, I don't even want to know who it fell out of. Just get it out of the bed.
And you're like, and it's big enough that you can't tell if it's yours or his.
I mean, I knew it was one of his, but he's. I could tell just because I know my recipe well enough.
Everybody knows their own brand. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But his big thing, he's also been shitting hair ties, which is amazing. Because he eats my wife's hair ties. So now all the turds have like handles. So you just take one and throw it across the room.
Little cat purses. Zach, before we go any further, what you got to plug, bud?
Oh, just follow me on Instagram at Zach is not funny. ZAC is not funny. My backup Twitter is ZA Spook Show. And I have a bunch of podcasts: the Real Ass Podcast, the Zach Amico's Midnight Spook Show, and Bye Guys, all on the Gas Digital Network. As well as I got a new movie coming out, hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm with Trauma Entertainment, and we're doing screenings all across America.
Nice, man. Any word when we're gonna get a DVD, bro, or maybe when you come into Denver? Because you know I'll pop in. I'm dying to fucking see this.
Trauma movies take a while. So the way I like to explain to people is I understand it's frustrating because we shoot the movie and then we tour with it for a number of years.
Like
Our
it's like
movie-
what? How long ago did you go to cons with that shit? Or no, that was the other, that was the last one. Sorry, that was
movie.
It was
Sorry.
a
We
pandemic
shot this
movie,
about
right?
3 years ago, and the best way I can put it is trauma movies are a communal experience, and to see them in a theater with a ton of people means a lot. As well as, and I take a lot of pride in this, I direct all the background action, so all the extras in the back going nuts and shit like that, I'm giving them gags and shit to do. You can only see some of that on a big screen. It will get lost on your TV, especially your computer or your phone. So I do ask people to be patient that our movies do take a little while to come out. But the benefit also is every movie we put out, we also put out for free a full-length making of. Which is usually just as funny as the movie, just to watch all these inept people try and figure out how to make a movie. And
oh no,
that's
the
done.
shitstorm. I've heard you describe that shitstorm scene and the making of the shitstorm scene. So I didn't know that you.
Times, and I
Yeah.
was so excited.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
I've been told the making of is done, which is usually about the 6 month to a year mark when we're going to have a Blu-ray. But off air, Renee, I'll send you both a screener link.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Yeah.
Holy
I have
shit.
a industry link. So just say that you watched it for the podcast.
Yeah. We'll we'll watch it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll share it, of course. We are
Perfect.
super proud of that. Thank you.
Dude, that's awesome.
Do me a favor, so that way this will lead into our movie segment. Like, tell people like about Trauma and like what to expect if they're really gonna follow you and like you're directing, you're producing because Trauma, it might not be for everybody.
No, it's an acquired taste, and just way to put it. There's a company called Trauma Entertainment. I've been working with them since 2009. They've been making 10-cent movies since the late 70s. They're about to come up, I believe, on their 50th year.
This is our loyal fan, Stephanie. Apparently, she's one of your fans as well. She tunes in every week. She's totally loyal, but yeah.
And I was lucky enough to hook up with them before they made a movie called Return to Nukem High. I've been with them since for about a decade and a change now. And it is just gross out, silly B horror. Lots of blood, lots of boobs, lots of slime-covered monsters. We do not take ourselves seriously, but I think we are the best in the world at making what we do make. And we make feature films for between. I just was on set for one that was going to cost about $20,000. And then we go up to about $500,000 to $1 million for our bigger movies. And it's just the most fun thing in the world. And we have a new movie, hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm, which is our version of Shakespeare's The Tempest.
Dude, I'm so excited to watch that. But when you say like the most famous movie for that brand is The Toxic Avenger, right?
We had a movie in 1984 called The Toxic Avenger. It spawned 3 sequels, a children's cartoon show. It is now being remade. It's going to come out next year. It was directed by Macon Blair, starring Peter Dinklage and Kevin Bacon.
Nice.
That remake is coming out next year.
Nice.
That's going to be great.
Follow it up.
I watched that cartoon show when I was a kid.
That's how I got into it.
Watched that as a kid. Yeah, and then followed after that is Zach, his best friend, fucking Doug Sackman, now plays the new version of Sergeant Kabuki Man, which is also Trauma,
our second superhero. He is a multicolored, multicultural Batman, a detective who turned into a Kabuki warrior. and my best friend has taken on the mantle of playing him. And Renee, I don't know if you know this, coming down the pike, there is already a concept trailer for Kabuki Man Returns,
Really?
which we hopefully are going to make in the next couple of years. There is a trailer that we can't put online, but we've been sneaking it into screenings.
Okay.
And there's a script and everything, and Lloyd's going to produce.
Sweet, man. Are you directing or just the background director?
No. I'll be involved. I have been crazy busy with comedy shit, so I've mostly been appearing in stuff when I can.
Nice.
We have got 2 new movies that our boss Lloyd is currently producing. I just shot a movie called Curse of the Were-Deer that takes place in South Tromaville, and it is a hunting comedy about obviously a were-deer. And we have another new movie that we'll be shooting in June called Bring on the Damned. That is an anthology movie about different people going to hell. And
We're one
that is
degree from
directed-
Kevin Bacon. Thank you,
directed and
Zach.
Yeah,
That's actually kind
damn.
of funny. That's
Well,
actually
also
awesome.
Lloyd is in James Gunn's Super, which stars Kevin Bacon. So I already have been one away from Kevin Bacon this whole
So
time.
I'm 2 away from Kevin Bacon. Nice.
And by the
before
way,
I
Kevin, if you want to do more degrees, I'm also Eskimo Brothers with Odorous from Guar.
Yes,
and,
I met him.
Joey Jordison from Slipknot.
Shut the fuck up. I need to find
Odorous from Guar, Joey Jordison from Slipknot, and the bad guy from The Mask, who was also Zed in Pulp Fiction. Which, if you're doing the math, yes, I only fuck girls who fuck guys in masks.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh shit.
one of my proudest videography moments, one of my proudest moments in photography was filming an interview for a website I'm not going to mention. But we got to interview fucking Odorous Orungus, man, from Guar. That was one of my proudest moments. The dude's a lunatic. Wow, that's hilarious. You've got Jesus Christ, dude. We got to talk. I want to find out. I feel like I might know one of those 3 at least. One of those 3
I think
chicks.
you do. I bet the one is a really easy call.
Yeah. All right. I already know it. Yep, I already know it. But also, before I forget, I do have some big plugs coming up. I'm doing what?
Please go ahead.
Oh, I've got 2 big podcasts I'm recording with the Podscure Network. Coming up, I'm doing the Disputed Pod, where they argue this person versus this person in the fantasy world. So we're doing Frank from Transporter versus Jason Bourne, and I'm going to be defending the Transporter just because it's fucking Jason Statham, you know. So that's coming up. And then on next Friday the 6th, live, going to be doing a table reading of an episode of Letterkenny called Dick Slip Out. And that's why on my name there, I didn't change it because we did rehearsals 2 days ago and I forgot to take that off before today's episode. But I will be playing Noah Dick. And full disclosure, I bought cosplay. I'm dressing up. I was like, you know what? This is like, since we're out of episodes of Letterkenny, we're just, reaching for things to do. This is my friend's show. It's called How Are You Now? The toughest podcast in Letterkenny. And this is going to be their first episode back since Letterkenny ended last season. And now we're waiting for Shoresy to start in about, I think, 3 weeks from now. I think it's they announced the 24th. I don't know if that was America or Canada's release date, but we get it within a week of them. So that's really huge. Those are going to be like this episode. I assume this episode is going to be viewed by a lot because we got a big name on here. And again, Zach, we really appreciate having you on. Follow Dan on all his socials at Webslinger25. All my socials are Bet You I Did, as it says right there. We really love every one of you guys who tune in every week. But That's
I'm
before
sorry,
I
can I throw
forgot.
one more thing out? I apologize.
Absolutely.
I
No,
am
no,
at the-
absolutely, brother.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. I am at the Come and Take It Comedy Festival in Houston, Texas, at the Secret Group, the same venue we did Skankfest South at, and it is myself, Sean Patton, Joe DeRosa, Harlan Williams, a really, really good lineup.
Really? Holy shit.
I am there
I
from
love
May 19th through 22nd in Houston. Come hang out if you want to see some dirty comedy and or take me to Bucky's.
Oh, Zach,
Now,
if
Zach,
you get
where can
if
you-
you get a if you get a ride to Bucky's, let me know. I will Venmo you for some jerky and a t-shirt. That's all I
Dude,
need,
Bucky's
bro.
is phenomenal.
I just
Zach,
want
where
some
can you
Bucky's.
find all of your stand-up dates coming up?
You always just stick to my social media at Zach is not funny. That's the easiest way.
Okay.
Yeah, Zach is someone like myself. He's a little more into the hardcore movies, but like we are both big movie heads along with Dan and I. That's something we bond over. Zach, have you seen any like anything new in the past like week or so? I mean, you can go back farther if you just want to bring up something random because you're a guest and it's not like you're on every week. Dan and I try to stick to shit we've seen in the past week, but if you've seen something, let us.
I'm
Put
gonna
us on.
recommend something that I've been talking about a lot lately, which is The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. And for people that haven't seen it, it's the short film Ari Aster, who made Hereditary and Midsommar, made his senior year of college. And if you just Google it, it's free on Vimeo. And it is the one thing when people say, "What can I watch that's gonna wreck me?" It will fuck your day up.
Okay.
One more time with the title.
Let me make sure I have this correct. The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. Yes, that's correct.
And it's on Vimeo. The Strange.
Yeah, if you Google it, it'll be up for free.
Right here, I found it.
We'll
right.
share that out. Maybe we'll talk about it on
It's really
next
gonna fuck your
episode.
day up. Like,
It's
however,
only 29 minutes, so that's it.
and it's
Yeah,
a
it's a short
real
film.
bummer.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ, Zach.
Okay.
So, Zach, just so you know, a funny reason, like I knew you would be a perfect fit for this show. I started this show because, you know me, I'm a little socially awkward. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, most people just don't like me for the most part. And I actually got asked to host 2 different podcasts, and they were like, "Dude, you're hilarious. You'd be a perfect fit for this fucking show." And then I was promptly asked to leave both of those shows. Like almost like, I think the first one I lasted 3 episodes. The other one I lasted a couple of months. And they basically called me a bummer. And I was like, you know what? Let me start my own shit so that way I can't get kicked off of my own podcast. I have to remind Dan all the time. I have to keep him in check. I'm like, hey man, it's my shit. So that's why the show is called Perfectly Misfit, because I'm a perfect fit, but nah, it never works out. And on that note, though, I just realized who I need to send my last Perfectly Misfit decal to,
Yes, please.
because Zach is a Misfits fan as well. He collects vinyl.
Yep, there we go.
This is on my desk at all times. Zach's seen my horrible Misfits tattoo. I'm not going to really make the fucking audience see that shit again. But yeah.
You can obviously see our logo is like a ripoff.
Yeah.
Enough where it's not plagiarizing.
No, it's an original piece of artwork done by Matt Maldonado, and we love him for that. What about any like major movies that have come out? Did you watch The Batman?
I started the Batman and I didn't hate it. I have to finish it. What I liked about what I watched was that I think there's 2 ways you can take Batman. You can either go full camp and make it very silly, or you can go, how would this have played out with real people? And that's what I think it kind of did. I love the idea of Joker as this like Zodiac type serial killer. Have you guys ever read? This is a very weird tangent because this is just a comic that I love. Have you ever read the Joker one-off? That's about the guy who gets out of jail and gets hired to be Joker's driver, and then it's just how the Joker ruins his life over the course of a week.
That's
Now,
not the.
I think I have a. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's just
But
called
I
Joker.
think it was in like the. I thought that was like one of the inserts in the middle of the Batman Hush.
Well,
'Cause
no, this is
if
like
you
a full
bought,
graphic novel.
okay, I
Yeah,
know
no,
you're
I
talking
never.
about. Fuck. All right,
Yeah,
I'll
I
look
am.
that up as well.
So we talked about Batman last week, but I figured if anybody, yeah, I did not appreciate how everybody won't give it a chance just because of who's playing Batman.
Twilight
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I literally I don't give a shit about Twilight, so I don't give a shit about him. So he's like literally just basically like
He's
a
a
new
blank
actor.
slate.
Yeah, he's a new
Right.
actor to me. So I'm like, I went into it being like,
Yeah, I know.
cool.
Like I've heard people complain about him having the black makeup on underneath the mask, but then if you
Everybody
look at
wears
many,
fucking black makeup under the eye
that's
on
what
the eyeballs.
that's what lucha wrestlers wear under the mask. Or if
Yeah,
Right.
anybody, you always do that,
Yeah,
and then
Penta Zero does, and so does Ray Phoenix.
it was what? Oh, just
Mysterio is
they're
probably the only one that doesn't.
he used
yeah,
to
because
though.
he used to before
Back
he
in
did
WCW,
yeah
yeah.
before he did the contacts, right?
Yeah, but this Batman one-off, what I love about it is that it basically went, how do we make the villains have real gigs? And that's what I liked about this Batman, in that they lean heavy into the Penguin being like a mafioso crime boss type,
Yep.
which is essentially what he is in that bit. He owns the Ice House Club or whatever he has. Uh, the Joker owns a strip club. Harley's the lead stripper there. And Killer Croc is just like an enormous black dude. But my favorite in that comic is that the Riddler has MS. And that's
What?
why he's got the cane. The big question mark.
Ah.
So
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
all like
The
fucked
Riddler
up.
have it.
And that's why he's like a super intellect, because he's been stuck paralyzed his whole life.
He's
And
like a
it's the
Mr. Glass
best-
almost.
It's exactly like that.
Huh.
And it's one of my favorite comics. It's basically like this, like, it's the study of the like thug, like the unnamed, henchman. It's a week in his life, and how he went from shitty criminal with an okay life to meeting Joker, and by the end of it, like how Joker ruined everything that's ever happened to him. Because
Yeah,
it was. Have you ever heard that like the Rolling Stone, or like if you were the Rolling Stones driver, you had about a week before you wanted to kill yourself?
Yeah.
no, I never heard that.
Or
I've
like
heard that.
I know the Four Horsemen, like Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen, hired a limo driver once, and he had a heart attack in a week from their lifestyle.
I feel
From
like
the
that'd be
hours
like
they
the
kept.
same for Burt Kreischer's driver.
Yes,
I-
but
yeah, I
that's basically this
really-
is it. It's like how
Well, no, if
hanging
you-
out with the Joker kills you.
Burt Kreischer has been releasing videos of him on tour, and his driver is a badass black motherfucker who actually
Yeah.
keeps him in check, which is awesome. It's a really great balance. But no, I love what you're saying though. That was one of my favorite things about how dark this Batman was. It almost got Silence of the Lambsy. Oh, you haven't seen the end there, right?
No, but
You
I'm
haven't
aware
made
enough about it that I can discuss it.
Okay, yeah. So like at the end, Joker makes an appearance and fucks with Riddler in Arkham Asylum. And like it's literally almost exactly like Silence of the Lambs, where like he's like whispering into his fucking ear from the cell next to him, and it's just like it's so dark. I loved it. It gave me as much joy as the first Dark Knight. It's just, I mean, it was like maybe about 15-20 minutes too long, and like there was some times where it didn't need to be so fucking ominous, but it was. Besides that,
I'll
it was great.
interject a little bit. I will say that it's my favorite of the Batman movies since Michael Keaton. This is the first one that really focused on him being the detective, and that was what they said at the beginning. Um, and like the classic like lines that the Riddler does say to him is like, toward. Sorry, Zach, I don't want to. I'm going to
That's
throw
fine.
in a little bit, but when he's like, "You're not as smart as I thought you were," like is all like shit he used to say in the comic and stuff to him, and it made Batman have to be better to save more people because like this is going into the detective Batman. This isn't the Ben Affleck badass Batman or uh the
Christian
fucking
Bale.
Christian Bale's like super badass Batman. This is the
That's
I
what
gotta
really,
know
from
shit.
the first half that I watched, what I really liked is that the more people he was fighting, he just started losing.
Hell yeah,
And
dude. He
I
showed
think
human.
Batman's bit is that he's smart and he has to get himself out of the situation. Like, I think the coolest Batman thing is in that comic where they revealed that he has a file on how to kill the Justice League if
Huh.
they go
Yeah.
rogue on him.
Yep.
Because that's something fucking Batman would have.
Yeah, that
Fuck
I mean,
yeah.
you just kind of see that in the Ben Affleck Batman, where he's
Mhm.
like, no. I've been reading you guys for a while. But I actually forgot. I went to the drive-in this weekend. We have drive-ins here in Denver, Zach. You would fucking
Oh
love it,
shit!
dude.
What'd you
It's
see?
so yeah. I saw. They usually do 3 movies in one session for like $10 a person. But this season they just opened up last week for their first weekend because the weather's just getting nice enough. It was a little chilly, but it was awesome. But this season they're only doing 2 movies. Usually they do like a kids movie early, an action movie, and then like something like scary at like midnight. And then but this year they broke it down to 2. I saw Sonic 2 and I saw half of Morbius.
Okay.
Because I
I
only
get it.
saw well, no, well, hold on. Well, no, hold on a second, brother. This past weekend was 420 was the weekend before. And then before I went to the drive-in, one of my dispensaries was having a anniversary event at my old bar that I worked at. So I popped in there not knowing what was going to happen or what was going on in there. My favorite dab company was giving away free dabs. My favorite flower company announced that they now do edibles and they were giving away free edibles. And there was some like nice distillery giving away free shots. So Sonic was bomb. I'll tell you that much. Morbius, I was stoned as shit. But it seemed very boring. Like I felt like I fell asleep. I napped through half of that shit, and it wasn't just the edibles. That was just because it was just like the action was blah, everything was dark. But Sonic was fucking hilarious. There was it reminded me of the second Shrek, where they really threw in a lot of adult jokes, so that way, like helps the parents, be
Yeah.
more entertained. So, like, as a 38-year-old watching a Sonic movie, they are PG, but like, yeah, Jim Carrey still has it. Jim Carrey, that's like that's probably going to be his lane from now on. I don't know what else he can do because anytime he tries anything else, it just doesn't land right. But he's killing it in Sonic. It was really
Yeah,
good. And
I've recently become a big drive-in proponent because there's a place in Pennsylvania called the Mahoning Drive-In that started hosting my company, Troma's Film Festivals. And I didn't realize how much fun drive-ins were.
yeah,
And then especially you go to what they have, they still do 35 millimeter
ooh,
projections. So I've gotten to go
ooh.
watch Troma movies from my childhood in 35,
What?
which is unreal. So they did Surf Nazis Must Die this
Well,
year.
I mean, technically, it is unreal.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But it's been so
That
much
was
fun,
great.
and they have
That was
amazing.
great.
The Mahoney's out of there. They have such a good fan base that they can like really like swing their dicks around. So they'll do a 4-day program of just earnest movies.
Dude,
But not only
that is
that, then all the
awesome.
food has like they have themed. So like when they showed Poultrygeist, the Troma movie that takes place at a chicken restaurant, they made the sloppy Jose, which is the sandwich from the movie, and
That's
you could go
wild.
get
Oh,
it
nice.
at the concession stand.
That's like it's like Alamo Draft House, but mom and pop style. Like literally,
And
dude.
it's a giant fucking.
That's funny
It's
you
like
bring
two
that up.
football fields.
Like literally sitting in front of me is my menu from Alamo Draft House. The custom menu they did just for Spider-Man
Mhm.
No Way Home.
So my movie podcast, Midnight Spook Show, it screens every Friday night at midnight on Gas Digital. But at 11:30, I start a pre-stream where it's commercials, music videos, clips from shit that I like, all strung together that lead into the movie. And I 100% stole that from going to see movies at the Alamo. Because they'll put
Yeah.
like clips and like silly shit before instead of just trailers. And I stole that outright. Because my idea is that eventually I want to have a 24-hour or at least a 12-hour a day channel where I program silly shit and then there's podcasts in between.
Dude,
Nice.
that's
I'd love to
perfect.
watch
I
that.
love that idea, dude.
So that at any time there's content. So it could be YouTube videos, it could be whatever. But I love the idea of a constant streaming.
Yeah, it's something just going 24 hours and it's just like almost like wasn't there like a time where Adult Swim did shit like that where it would just be
Yeah,
like
for Rick and Morty right now.
yeah, there would just
Yeah,
be like
it's
an
my
hour
it's my
or two.
version of Weird Al's UHF.
There you go. Now, when did you say they stream the Ernest movies, like Ernest P.
They do
Worrell?
yeah,
Yes,
4 days.
They
He
did
said
the
4 days
entire
of
Ernest
Ernest.
series over 4 days.
Dude, yeah,
On a
I
giant
think
screen.
you're about my age, right? And our age.
Yes.
I love Ernest movies growing up. Ernest Scared Stupid is my favorite Halloween movie ever. Ernest Saves Christmas is the same for me as Christmas Vacation. You have to watch it on Christmas, and I have since I was a child. I don't miss a year.
I'm gonna put that
Can
in
I
my
give you my
rotation.
favorite Ernest Scared Stupid fact? So the guys that did the trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid are the the Chiodo brothers, who are a famous special effects team. Before they did Ernest, they wrote and directed and made the Killer Clowns movies.
Oh shit, that makes
Killer
sense.
Clowns from Outer Space, the ones
Yeah.
that
Makes
turn people into cotton
The
candy.
trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid,
Uh huh.
3 of them are the Killer Clowns painted brown.
Oh no shit.
And if you go back and watch
That
them
makes
back to
sense.
back,
Yeah, that makes sense.
there's the same heads, and they just took the
Painted
old
brown.
clowns and repainted them, and those are the trolls in the
I'm
periphery.
gonna
scene.
watch that this weekend.
That's awesome.
When I was a kid, that clown movie scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I hate
You know,
it.
it's funny. Ernest Scared Stupid scared the shit out of me.
It
Yep.
did when I was a
Yeah.
little
Because it
kid.
picked
but
on
now,
kids.
Like,
Yeah.
it was fucking awesome. It was, dude. Goddamn, what a great fucking movie.
Before we move on from the movies section, Zach, I know you've seen it. Dan, you haven't seen it, but so you saw recently. It was on your show with Dave Temple, the dudes from No Need for Apologies. God, shout out to that show. Love that show. Black Devil Doll from Hell. I haven't seen that original one, but I did see the more modern remake that I think it was just called Black Devil Doll.
Yeah, the one Rotten Cotton did. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
was the
saw it.
2007 one, right?
Yeah, I saw that
We tried to find
actually
one.
at the bar that Zach and I basically met at. We met in a backyard, but after a zombie crawl. But
yeah.
Zach and I were regulars at this bar called Lucky 13s. And back in the day when Netflix used to mail these things called DVDs, like they had that premium plan where they would like rent like 5 to 9 DVDs at a time, and they would just be constantly rotating shit. And Black Devil Doll was a movie that they just basically never sent back and would just always be on like constant loop. You would see it like at least 3 times, 4 times a week at Lucky 13s. And we were talking about last week, we were going to try and find a copy of it online or stream it online and watch it. And
It's not easy to find.
no, it's not. Dan and I are also slackers. I could have just bought us some DVDs, but I just didn't.
But they were like $40 on Amazon, and I'm like, no
Yeah.
offense. I'm
Yeah, I
not paying
thought
$40 for any movie.
it's
Like,
actually kind of worth. It's actually kind of worth it to keep it around, to just for preservation's sakes.
before we
But Zach,
also move on, I do want to say I'm a massive, obviously web slinger. I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. Like I'm a truist. Like I used to really hate the Tobey Maguire movies because no web shooters, and then I picked apart all of them. But Morbius, I heard, and like to a point where I love Morbius. He's one of my favorite characters from the Spider Verse. I heard that it was so bad and so off of the comics. It was like trying to watch the Venom versus Venom 2 Carnage, Ultimate Carnage, or whatever the fuck that name of the movie was. And I was so let down by that movie that there's no way I could bring myself to watch the Morbius movie.
it's not worth it.
And I've heard nothing but bad things about it. So I wanted to bring that up before I forgot all about the Morbius shit.
Yeah, no, it was really it
Yeah,
was.
Dan, I haven't seen Let There Be Carnage either because Carnage is my favorite Marvel character,
I
and
got
I
him right here.
don't want to watch them fuck him up. The second they announced the casting, I went, "Oh, he's
For
already
Woody.
been a serial, like he was already in Natural Born Killers."
Right.
I don't want to see him be Cletus Cassidy. And I'll tell you, had you given me anybody, because if you cast anybody as Carnage, you ready? Topher Grace.
I was gonna say that. I was so gonna fucking say Topher because he was a shit Venom. Venom's
he
a
would have been
bodybuilder. You can't
the
have Venom
okay.
be a
You ready?
skinny little
Brock
fuck.
Lesnar is Venom. Topher Grace is Carnage.
I'd take that all
Oh.
day, but I know Brock Lesnar
You don't
can't
like
act,
Tom Hardy?
so I would swap that
No, he's
out for The
fine.
Rock
But
and
I
change
love
legit, like.
big stupid fucking
I
Venom.
But Brock would have been great.
I liked Tom
because he
Hardy.
can't act.
No, he's good, but
And
Brock Lesnar as Eddie Brock is just perfect casting.
it would have
And then
been
I
fucking
think
amazing.
Topher Grace really getting
Alright.
to act and be a child killer who
Absolutely.
Carnage should have been.
Dude,
You
that
You
was
just
I
made
was gonna
Dan's
say
night.
Topher. Dude, my dick got hard. Like, bye guys, here I come. But
Put it away. Put it away, Dan. Put it away.
fucking-
Jesus.
dude, yeah, I totally agree. Topher Grace would have been the best Carnage you could have. If
It
you
would have
could,
been
like,
career
dream that
changing.
up. Because he could have killed that shit. And I felt so bad for him on Venom when he did it in Spider-Man 3 because he could have been the Carnage, but he was Eddie Brock is a goddamn Olympic bodybuilder. Like that's
Yeah.
who he was. Like, come the fuck on. Like he was a terrible casting for him.
And had they made Topher Grace more of like a Jeffrey Dahmer type, like a mild mannered crazy person who then given the symbiote became Carnage. But
Once again-
armchair casting.
Once again, this is why
it was so we could do that, and it doesn't matter because this is two guys shitting around. No, that's
Shitting
a
around.
so line.
that's a perfect
But,
transition.
no, this is how we do this podcast. Is like
that's actually
we do
literally a
this, we talk
perfect
about
transition.
movies,
Zach,
and then
like
talk
you
about
are the prince of the Legion of Skanks, in my opinion. So and truth be told, my boy Pat was my first person who really like got me into podcasts. In the first place, we would take drives to go upstate to go skiing, and that's what we would do in the car. I was listening to fucking Rogan back when like Joey Diaz was like prime, and I met you around the same exact time, Zach. So let us know, man. What podcasts are you into lately? What's your favorite podcast this past week? What are you shooting out? I'm just gonna go grab a beer. But let us know.
So
I'm
I
listening,
actually don't listen to a ton of comedy podcasts anymore because I am afraid of accidentally parroting something I heard. So I mostly listen to wrestling.
That's fine. We one of
Are you
our
a Jim Cornette drive-in.
So I listen to Jim Cornette. I listen to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard.
we actually have a professional wrestler. He's one of our biggest regulars on the show. Shout out to Corey
And you
Castle.
know him.
Oh, Corey
Yeah,
Cassidy.
yeah.
Corey.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Corey.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, Corey.
one of our best friends.
Corey
So I listen
is
to a
was
lot of
our
wrestling
first
shit.
guest on the show.
And then I'll recommend a podcast that I just started listening to today, and it is Toxic Masculinity with Don Fry and Dan Severn from
Shut
the
the fuck up.
UFC.
I know Don Fry.
I listened to the first 10 minutes of it, and I thought it was people doing voices making fun of them. And then I watched the video, and I went, "Oh my god, they're there!"
It's actually them.
Do you did
And
you
I
ever
love
listen to
it.
the Edge and Christian podcast?
Yes,
Okay, do you remember that guy that always called in as Stone Cold? And
yes.
they like for the longest time they thought for sure that was Luke Gallows.
Was that you?
No, fuck no, I can't do that. I'm not cool. But when you're I some of that I had nowhere going at beyond like you saying you thought it was a parody of it, and that's where I went with that to me. And you were talking about wrestling pod. I got super excited. I'm sorry. It
No,
went
it's fine,
nowhere.
Bubba. But yeah, I've been listening to that. I just started today, and it's so funny because they're just such old school cowboy type dudes, and it's them trying to like navigate the podcast landscape. And there was this hilarious line one of them said about how you used to be able to tell a man was a real man if he had cauliflower ear.
What?
And then he goes, now you got 7-year-old girls taking fucking jujitsu, and you don't know who the fuck's anything anymore. Like it was just these two old. It was two guys who obviously came out of this Wild West world of when MMA started. Where now
MMA,
like
and
there's
then
a
Dan
fucking
Severn went on to do WWE too.
yeah, and now they're just navigating in this world where every little town has a fucking Gracie gym,
Oh yeah.
and watching them navigate whatever now is just really made me laugh. Because my favorite fight of all time. Have you ever watched Don Fry Takayama?
I was on I was a co-host on one of those podcasts that I got kicked off of. Was a wrestling podcast, like
Okay, so Takayama
so
wound up
I might have
wrestling.
blacked out. I might have seen it.
Takayama wound up wrestling, but he was in Pride in Japan, and he's like a 7-foot tall, like one of those like
That the
he's
dude
a
that fought
giant.
Conseco?
Yeah, he's bleach blonde Japanese guy.
He
And
fought
him and
Conseco,
Don
Jose
Fry,
Canseco,
I
right?
don't know if they talked before the fight or what they decided. They just had a hockey fight for 15 minutes. Nobody blocked the punch. And they try to kill each other.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this actually.
It is my favorite fight. It is unreal.
Yep. I'm almost positive I've seen this.
It is two guys.
Wait, hold on, gotta kill the sound.
Yeah, it is two guys just throwing. Whenever they're standing, it's just bombs.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's look at this. Oh Jesus! Yeah,
this is from your old pod. I've seen this.
Yeah, I definitely saw this on my old podcast.
I was thinking about.
Jesus! My God!
This is the fight. By the way, that's the fight. But then years later, so Takayama has since been injured. He got paralyzed in pro wrestling. But before that, a couple of years ago, he was in some group at a Japanese company, and Don Fry was in some other fucking faction. And it's one of my favorite clips ever. Both factions had a huge, like, clear the ring brawl. And it's them back to back, and they turn and see the other one. And the way Japanese wrestling is they're so quiet, and they clap.
Yeah.
Ooh,
until the big moment. Yeah, until the big pop.
These two guys turn and look at each other, and they have that moment, and the whole crowd goes, ah! And they literally just start hockey punch. They just start fighting like that again.
Nice.
Throwing live rounds.
Nice.
And the people, it's one of the best storytelling moments I've ever seen. But yeah, that Don Fry Takayama fight, it's just that what you saw, there's just no one's blocking a punch, and they're going, let's hit each other in the face till somebody falls down.
Yeah, it was a hockey
Right.
fight in a rink, and they were they were going. They
But
were
it was
selling.
an actual one,
They were
not
s-
what they see on TV now.
Yeah.
they were selling. uh Dan, what about you? What about what podcast you mentioned earlier? I think the Time Suck.
I time all right, so I just discovered Time Suck podcast a couple like a month ago, 2 months ago with Dan Cummings. I have binge watched most of them. But today's episode was about Putin. Uh
Uh,
dude, it was super good. He's really good at like telling you the whole story of everything and then making some random shit funny because it gets dark because he does a lot of serial killers and shit like that, and he's just really good at making it funny, and you learn a lot of shit that, like, honestly, I don't give a fuck about Putin. Like, I'm not going to go read a book on Putin, but I'll listen to a podcast for 2 hours about Putin, and if I laugh during it too, it's funny as fuck. So hey, here we go.
Yeah, so I'll be
I,
back in 2. I got to take a wicked piss.
oh, go
Yo,
ahead.
All right.
go.
Got it.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, dude, it was a really I would check it out, dude. The Epstein episodes that he did the last 2 weeks, he did a two-part Epstein episode. I would totally check that out. Like just shits and gigs because he breaks down all the conspiracy theories and all that shit on it. That it's interesting as fuck, and again, he's funny as fuck. So it's good.
It's been an interesting week for podcasts. This week, Minaj is on Whiskey Ginger. That was a great fucking episode.
I listened to
Uh,
that.
Tiger Belly. I'm starting to lose a bit of patience with that show. Uh,
Their
they're
ad reads kill me.
the ad reads are not just killing me. That's fine. I usually watch it while I'm like doing other shit, so I can like just pop over and skip, for 60 seconds or a minute and a half. Um, uh, but what's really killing me is like Bobby Lee's and his fucking guests, like rich people problems. It's like, like Tiger Belly used to be their motto used to be Nosotros Papaya, which was like it meant nothing, but it also meant like we're just all the same. And meanwhile, like now every episode of Bobby Lee's just like, oh well, when I had to deal with this rich problem, and when I had to deal with this rich person problem, and I had to like buy a new car. And I had to spend money on this. Oh my new house. This. I don't know. I'm losing it. I'm really losing it with that fucking show. But
I
I
think
will say,
all good podcasts have waves like that, though. When you stick with a show long enough, there's going to be great times and there's going to be lulls, and then it'll pick up again. I've had that with a ton of shows.
my other like lull with a large majority of podcasts is when everybody has the same dude on, in like the like two
All the
three
West
weeks.
Coast guys.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I get it. You're on a promo run, like you're out there, you got a book coming out, you got a special coming out, you got a tour coming out, you got a movie coming out, a book, whatever the fuck it is. But it's just like I don't need to see Jim Gaffigan 7 times in a week. I might
Yeah, but
listen to like I
if
might listen to
Gillis
5 to 7
is the same
podcasts.
thing, if Gillis is on when he did his West Coast run, I listened to
Well,
everything he was on. That's
but
Shane
but
now. And
but
same
Shane
with DeStefano.
when
And
Shane
Shane's
goes
not
on a
going to talk
run,
about the same thing, though.
that's what I was gonna say. When Shane goes on a run,
Yeah.
yeah, when he goes on a
DeStefano
run,
did. DeStefano did when he did his West Coast run. Every fucking podcast he talked
different
about
person,
the same shit every time,
different.
but
That's a different
it was
person.
still fucking funny every goddamn
I
time.
love Chris. I love Chrissy D. I love Chrissy Daytime, but he has his like line of jokes. Like he has his thing.
Right.
I mean, and it changes. I feel like every like year. He has a different thing he's doing every year. But when he's on a run, it's the same thing. Shane Gillis, though, Jesus, I got the young bull.
Dude, your
He-
mom's house
his-
episode was
his-
fucking hilarious.
His jokes revolve around whatever the 4 fucking Bud Lights he just drank tells him to say.
And every time he's been on Rogan, it's been hilarious. I love Rogan with Ari, him, and Mark Norman. They're
Yeah.
the best.
It's the
in my
closest
opinion.
Rogan gets to old Rogan is when those
Yep.
3 guys bring out of him.
100%. He was literally like OG, like Joey Diaz 10 years ago, fucking Rogan. Like fucking Joey Diaz on 1,000 milligrams of Chiba Chews Rogan level shit. Read that.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. Those Stars of Death.
You had
Back
one?
when
I had
those-
one.
I had one. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about, Dan? The
I know,
500
'cause I watched-
milligram black
I'm
gummy.
a big Joey D fan, and I watch the shit out of it, and I know what you're talking about. I don't partake in any of that shit, but I know what it is, and I know that I've taken a 5 milligram gummy a couple of times, and it fucks my world up, and I don't mess with that.
I had a piece
Um,
of the Star of Death one night when we were in LA, and then Mike Lawrence, who's one of the coolest guys in the world, such a fucking great comic and a really sweet guy, he took me to a show he was on. It was at a movie theater, and it was called Get High, Watch Wrestling. And it was Ron Funches, Mike
Oh.
Lawrence, and X-Pac with
X-Pac?
showing wrestling clips on a movie screen.
Yeah,
And
I remember
everybody did
hearing about
dabs,
that.
Everybody did dabs, and it was my first dab. So now I'm on this edible. I had my first dab, and I just got to go be a fan. I sat in the back with a fucking water on my tummy, and I got to watch Ron Funches make X-Pac explain DX and blackface in real time. He showed him the clip of DX and blackface and went, he's like, "Do you want to tell us a little about this?" And watching X-Pac, who's, by the way, real sweetheart, really cool guy. I've met him a couple times now, and I really like him. And he's a big comedy fan. He's super cool.
Uh-huh.
Watching him bumblefuck his way through It Was a Different Time.
Right.
what 2001, motherfucker?
98.
98.
Funches
him
is
come
also
out.
a massive wrestling fan.
And it was so fucking funny, but that edible and that dab hit me so hard. And I like to think weed hit me hard. Booze I'm pretty good with, but I keep my shit together if I need to. I locked myself in my friend's garage, who then fell asleep with his phone charging on silent, and I got stuck in there for 5 hours.
Oh no!
Because he told me to go through his garage, but then he gave me the wrong key, so I couldn't get into the room with the elevator, and the garage door locked behind me.
No.
And I stood in there for 5 hours calling people, crying. And then I saw a smaller garage, and I went, well, that's the way out.
Obviously.
So I go in, and that locks behind me. And
No.
now it's just me and 2 sports cars. And I'm in there for about a half an hour to the point where I have to piss, but I don't want to piss on these people's nice cars.
You're the
So I
fat
put my
guy
dick-
gone in 60 seconds.
So I put my dick out the bars of this cage the garage was in to pee out the bar so I don't pee on their nice cars. I lean on the thing to piss, and the entire gate slides over. It was a movable gate the entire 5 hours.
You could have just.
I literally had to go like that, and I was in there for a good part of my day.
Oh my god. That's fucking hilarious.
My buddy
I-
woke up to like 27 voicemails.
I want to
Me
tell
being
my
like, I'm trapped
Joey
in the
Diaz.
garage. I'm gonna die.
I have Joey Diaz edible stories in 2 different states, and it doesn't compare to that.
Holy shit.
But,
I'm
like my
fucking
my
dying.
best one was, excuse me, the first day I met Joey Diaz was he was doing Gotham, and it was my birthday weekend, and like it was a kind of like a tradition where I started going to see. He would always come around in the end of August at Gotham, and it became a tradition. It was like, oh shit, he's always coming, so like I might as well just start making it a tradition. And the first time I saw him, or no, I saw him once, and then the next year, like by the next year, he knew who I was just from me being a fan. And like, what was it? He goes, I saw him out front earlier, and I sparked him up on a joint. Dude was holding court. Like, literally, he was holding court so hard. Some fucking little hipster kid on that corner of Gotham by above the Globe was like, "Hey, I pay $700 a night to rent this place. You need to shut the fuck up." And like Joey Diaz started like a "fuck you, dickhead." Like he just like he had like 100 people. "Fuck you, dick." So like but Joey has a thing where he won't do pictures beforehand. He goes, "Renee, I know who you are. Come see me afterwards." Or actually he didn't even mention my name before. And then afterwards, I waited online to get my handshake, fucking get my picture with him like a gentleman. But then when he went to give me my handshake, he had a fucking Chiba Chew. And this was a good 8-10 years ago when Chiba Chews, before they got regulated, it was fucking black and gray, the printing on that shit. It tasted like like a a Tootsie Roll that's been buried in dirt for 4 days. It
Oh,
was,
I know. Yeah.
dude. The one thing that I will never
For a
forget was,
while, we at Gas Digital shared a dealer with a certain SNL cast member whose name will remain redacted because he's dating a very famous person. Uh, and they used to bring us Tootsie Rolls. That one time I accidentally stunk up my office by biting into.
just because you opened this shit, dude. Literally, there was a
Because I bit it in half instead of eating the whole thing.
yeah.
And people were walking in going, "Is
Like,
somebody smoking in here?"
the fuck?
Because I
Yeah.
bit it in half.
I will never
Wow.
forget just putting it in my mouth. It was like it tasted like a ball of grass. You could,
Right?
and there was like a layer of fucking green oil on the foil. It was gnarly. And the last thing I remember was being in Checkers at about 2:30 in the morning, holding up a wall because my knees felt like rubber bands.
Yep.
I was rubber band man, rubber man man's like, but then also when I went to California, just on vacay, I popped in. I went to a Kevin Smith show when he did Hollywood Babylon, and then I went to a Joey Diaz show because he just happened to be doing a set, and he met me out front with a ball of hash, a pre-roll, and then I had just happened to be eating in the dining room area at the fucking Comedy Store, and he sat down in a booth with the chef from the Death Stars, and he goes, "Renee, come here, cocksucker. Put this shit in your fucking mouth." And I'm like, "Oh, right, tonight's gonna take a turn." And I actually managed that one pretty well. I don't know if it was maybe like a weaker one, especially being on like travel. I always feel like I always get extra fucked up when I'm like, Amsterdam or California, or like I was just in Washington a couple weeks ago, or couple months ago, like a month and a half ago, and like I got nice on their dabs, but their flour, their edibles, manageable. I was very surprised. The Star of Death didn't fucking wreck me, but I got handed a Star of Death from his fingers. I was like,
Yeah.
"Here you go." I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah,
My
I
biggest issue
braced
with
myself.
listening to Joey is that I fall asleep because my family's from North Bergen. They grew up a few blocks down the street from
Oh
him.
shit! So you're literally like going back to your childhood
So
days.
every time
That's
he
that voice.
sounds like everyone I grew up around because I used to go to my grandma's every weekend, and
And your dad had the garage, the mechanic. He was a mechanic, right? So I'm sure they all
my
had that.
dad's a welder.
Yeah, they
But
all had that voice.
well, my grandma lived on a few blocks from where Joey grew up, but everybody had, we lived on 33rd and 3rd, and this
Oh
motherfucker
shit!
does this, and hey, listen, cocksucker, and that was the voice that everyone had. And then Joey tells like literally, my uncle, so my aunt married a Cuban, so his parents became my surrogate grandparents.
Oh.
So every Christmas was Cuban. Every holiday was Cuban because we went to their house. So then I started getting the stories mixed up.
That's
at a
why you hang
certain
out with so
point.
many Puerto Ricans.
And like literally, my uncle
Alright.
Jesus one time told us
Same
that there
shit.
was a retarded kid he went to school with named Vinny Warhead. And then Joey Diaz on a podcast goes, so I'm with Vinny Warhead. He was the local Momo.
No
And I'm like,
way.
I called
No
Jesus. I'm
way.
like, Joey Diaz was talking about fucking Vinny Warhead. Like, those are all stories I've heard already because my
Oh,
uncle's
shit.
that age.
Oh yeah, you said they were from a couple blocks over. So yeah,
Yeah,
fuck.
they all went to high school together.
Oh, that's
they ran
fucking
together, huh?
crazy.
But like, I know
Dude.
all that. Like, it's like in my DNA. Like, he'll tell stories about parts of North Bergen that I remember being in when I'm like 4.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like I've you know, I grew up in the Bronx and went to Jersey a lot, but I was more of a Fort Lee person. That's where my cousins were, you know, because like that's how us Puerto Ricans are. Like, all right, we hang
Sure.
out where our cousins are because they got our backs. So,
Dan, just so you know, Fort Lee's the part of New Jersey where Korean kids smoke weed and think they're black for 4 years.
they stop fucking. You know, like Korean kids be like, "Yo, what up, nigga?" Like, all
Yeah.
right, bro.
Yeah,
all right,
there's
Chang.
All
All right,
there's
Justin
this amazing
Chang.
phenomenon of New Jersey Koreans. They smoke weed like 3 times, and then they are black for 7 years. Like,
I'm pretty sure.
aggressively black.
I'm pretty sure I
Nice.
remember some fucking Korean kids from Bergen who went to
Dropping
college,
hard
who went to
on-
high school in like Manhattan Center, or like fucking Beast.
I love it because our whole life's experiences are so fucking different.
Yeah, yeah,
Again, I butt fuck Egypt, Michigan.
yeah. Zach's a Brooklyn boy. Zach's a Brooklyn and Jersey boy.
Yeah. I'm
Straight
as
up
East Coast as it gets.
Country as fuck, redneck ish, but
Let's,
listen to this shit. It's so
Let's
fucking funny.
well, speaking of redneck shit, speaking of city boy shit, though, we'll wrap it up on the last segment. We're all healthy boys and we like to eat. I don't know if Zach, I don't know if I've ever really seen you cook anything, but our last thing we like to cover on is food we've either cooked. Dan is a grill master like myself, and he's got kids, so we can't afford to eat out. So he's learned to have to fucking cook for his family and shit. And he actually throws down in the kitchen. And Zach, I don't know. You look like you can handle a burger or something like
I
that.
can fuck around, yeah. What I want to suggest, all right. Snack I always suggest, people don't know they exist. Well done Cheez-Its.
Toaster oven?
No, they sell them already. The ones that get burnt, they sell as a separate pack. They're amazing. Yeah.
Dude,
Where?
you live in New
Canada?
York City. I was gonna say, hold on a second.
No, those are an Amazon buy. Those are an Amazon buy.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm in Walmart's almost, once a month or twice a
well
month.
done or toasted Cheez-Its. All right, so the thing I will recommend. So,
Oof.
I fucking love
You're changing
Popeyes.
the game here. You're changing the game.
Love
Oh,
Popeyes.
you like Popeye's chicken?
Love Popeyes. I prefer Bojangles, but they don't got it up there.
Bojangles is the shit.
Yeah, the first time I went down south, Bojangles changed my shit. But if you like Popeyes, the best thing about Popeyes to me, red beans and rice.
I like that.
I would argue one of the most underrated fast food sides. Now, this is what I'm going to recommend. Amazon. Zatarain's red beans and rice box, $1.54. Tastes identical to Popeyes.
Red beans
And
are.
now GoPuff. Do you guys have GoPuff?
Yeah, I got GoPuff near me. I live in a college
GoPuff,
city.
Yeah, GoPuff is an app that started as like a stoner app, but now it's snacks, beer, and soda, and some fresh groceries.
Okay.
Now GoPuff has andouille sausage, so you can make a full New Orleans rice, red beans, and sausage from your couch that tastes fucking phenomenal.
Nice.
It is a real game changer.
Jesus. Again, this is why we had Zach on this week. Like, my man is. I know he's going to cover all of our 3 basic topics.
The Zatarain's fucking red beans and rice. Literally, You make it just like if you're doing like rice-a-roni or whatever. Phenomenal. And now
Little
GoPuff
boiled
has
rice.
this
Yeah,
fucking has
we'll
Cajun sausage, and you put them together, motherfucker.
Is there
Jesus.
what brand of the sausage is it again?
Well, I don't know the brand, but I know it's Andouille. A-N-D.
And Dewey's that's the Louisiana style
Yeah,
sausage.
Louisiana
Okay.
style sausage.
I'm
Folks,
writing it down. I'm
Hey,
gonna do that this
hey.
weekend.
Also goes great with I'll do like frozen shrimp
Okay.
and do
Yeah, I
like
do. I do that a
Cajun
lot
spices.
out here.
But this fucking red beans and rice from Amazon once again.
Okay.
I was gonna say
wrote
either
down as
that or
well.
probably some maybe some like frozen shrimp covered in Old Bay seasoning. Sounds like that would probably also work. But damn, fucking god damn it, Zach. Now I know when I have this fucking weekend. I might even I'm going to a baseball game on Wednesday. Might do that before the baseball game. It sounds like a good foundation for drinking.
Weekend, by the way, I did
What's that?
burnt ends.
Ooh.
Burnt ends, nachos, burnt end nachos with fresh jalapenos with coleslaw and some pico, like fresh pico. It was the shit. Like I'm good at a brisket, bro. Like I can throw down on a brisket. I've got that shit down. My dad taught me that before he died. But this is my first time making burnt ends. And I just like, man, I really want some fucking nachos. Like all that fucking time for that burnt end.
Do you do a little queso sauce? You know?
No, dude. It was like straight up like burnt end. I bought coleslaw like from a deli.
Wait, did you put coleslaw on your nachos?
Bro, I'm telling you.
You're a
It was a
lunatic.
recipe. I'm not gonna lie. It was a recipe I found on TikTok.
Of course you did.
And it was the bomb, dude. It was
Dude,
so
you put
fucking good. And then
coleslaw.
fresh jalapeno.
Was there any cheese on there?
Yeah, of course.
You
Yeah,
what, shredded
like
cheese?
Yeah, shredded Mexican cheddar cheese, whatever. It was good. It was good as fuck. I promise. Put the cheese on before the slaw to let that fucking melt.
You're fucking killing me, Smalls.
I'm telling you, dude, it was
coleslaw on nachos.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's way better than you think.
I swear.
That makes sense because when you go to diners, they put like cold lettuce and tomato on there.
Yeah.
So if you did a similar
shredded, yeah, they do the shredded, yeah,
like shitty shredded lettuce. I bet
iceberg,
it could be similar. Yeah.
Nope. Still not going to support this. I'm not going to support this, man.
You don't have to, but I'm telling you, it's good as fuck. And I may make that again for the next family.
Dan, have you ever had the brand Dan's Barbecue?
No. Where?
They're phenomenal. I was just in Tennessee making that Were Deer movie, and the guy who makes the videos, Dan from Dan's Barbecue, brought us pulled pork. Bud, oh boy.
Dude, I love pulled pork. That's like, I don't like pork at all.
That's my specialty.
I'm an Ari. I'm part of the Ari family.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Choo.
So, but I love pulled pork and bacon. But, dude, I've had some really good pulled pork, and I also learned how to make some good pulled pork. That is my 4th of July special now. Because I throw a massive party on 4th of July. It's like at least $1,400 in fireworks. Like, it's redneck as fuck. If you guys ever come down for a show in that time frame, I guarantee you get fucked up, and you may or may not come close to dying.
You can shoot some guns on his property. You can drink some shit on his property. You can fucking barbecue some shit on his property. It's a good time on his fucking property. Last time I have fireworks in my closet that have been sitting there for a year and a half, and I haven't shot fireworks since I was at his house like 3 years ago.
I'm holding to that, brother.
I got more toys now, so it's.
Dan's got acres. He's yeah, it's fun popping off his gun,
and it's fun.
The one food I'm gonna shout out is my boy Garrett, one of my bartenders at my local watering hole, the Dirty Duck. He made some smoked chicken this weekend. It was smoked chicken quarters, fucking little barbecue baked beans on the side. Oof, man! Like
You know the seasonings he threw on that chicken?
if I did, I wouldn't tell you, motherfucker. That's his secret. He's not on the show right now, but I'll tell you this much. Whoo, daddy! It was perfect. You know, pink in the inside with that like the smoke ring fell off the bone. Maybe I think he said he had it in there like 3-4 hours because they were just little pieces like about that fucking big.
Chicken you don't need
And
to
then,
smoke.
I mean, it was like $7-8, you know, for that and a beer. Fuck, man, that was the fucking shit. I haven't had
If I
like
could be exceptionally fat for a
Yep.
moment, I was in
let's
Chicago.
go.
this
Let's
weekend.
go.
In Chicago, my flight got canceled at 5 in the morning, so I had to spend an extra day. So I decided to find out what was the better Chicago dog and beef sandwich, Portillo's or Al's Italian Beef.
You got them both?
Oh yeah, and Al's was fine. A little too spicy. I got the chili oil on it. It was a little much, and I like spicy, but it was too much. Portillo's Chicago dog, phenomenal. Like real, everything you wanted.
What's on the Chicago dog?
It is gardeniera peppers, celery salt, a pickle, tomatoes, a bunch of shit.
Okay.
Really good.
Loaded as
Is
fuck.
that is that one of the ones with that has cream cheese on it or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They also did a Polish sausage with with all the fixing. Really, really good.
Dude, Polish
Phenomenal
sausage
meal.
shit.
Then, so they are famous for their shake, which I will say, as an adult, one of the 10 best desserts I think I've ever had. It is Renee, did you ever drink at the Turkey's Nest outside
Wait.
of McLaren Park? They had those big styrofoam margs.
Oh yeah. And they did the like flip cup. They did flip cup tournaments. Yeah, I think we went to. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that size cup, 32-ounce styrofoam
Basically,
cup.
like a styrofoam cup, like about that fucking big, like just
Chocolate
and flimsy.
shake.
It was thin. That shit was full.
So this place Portillo's chocolate shake in that with an entire slice of chocolate cake blended into it. So now I had a few. I was a little high. I get this thing. What did not occur to me is that at the end of the shake, there's just chocolate cake at the bottom.
Just cake. Yeah, it all settled.
It was like I wanted to cry. It was however good you think a chocolate shake with a piece of chocolate cake blended into it is gonna be
10 times better.
Yeah, you haven't.
It's like
you're not ready for it.
More moist.
You're just not ready for it. I just sat on a couch at a comedy condo watching Impractical Jokers, eating a chocolate shake with tears in my eyes.
Nice.
I think that's probably one of the best ways to end this episode of Perfectly Misfit. Zach and Miko, thank you so much for coming on, brother. It's been a long. I'm sorry, I'm a little not as organized as I should be. We should have had you on sooner. Thank you so much for coming on. Anything else you want to push and plug before we get out of here? Anything you might remember?
No, just come and take a comedy festival, Houston. Instagram, Zach is not funny. Back up Twitter, ZA Spook Show. Bye, guys. Zach Amigos Midnight Spook Show, Real Ass Podcast, Support Gas Digital, and thank you guys very much for hanging out.
Yeah, Zach is a fucking OG homie, and he's one of our biggest gets. Actually, excuse me, our biggest get as of yet, and we were super blessed to have him on. And I'm sure he would appreciate it if you guys liked, subscribed, leave a comment, share it with a homie. But like I always say every episode, our most important thing to us is that you tell somebody that you love them. We didn't get too deep into the mental health shit this episode because it wasn't that episode. But, we really want you to tell somebody you love them. It's really important to us. Say that to somebody because you never know when you might lose them. Zach, I love you. Thanks for coming on, brother.
I love you, man. Thank you so much for having me.
I'll definitely be in New York in the next month. I got to close my storage unit. I've been procrastinating about this for like a year now. Dan, I
Sounds
love
good. If you want to
you.
get a drink at Lucky's, let me know.
Oh yeah, I'm not allowed in there. Dan, we'll go to Duff's. Dan, I love you. I love your
you, buddy.
face. I forgot we didn't even get to mention his new fucking arcade right behind him. That's literally that was not there for the past year, and that just got. We'll talk about that next episode. Thank you, regulars. Thank you, Stephanie. Wait, there's some messages there. Jeremiah, getting a little late. Little league. Oh,
Hell yeah.
so, all right. Sorry. Well, again, thank you for your comments. That was a solo comment. A comment is a comment. Thank you guys for those of you who tune in every week. See you next week, guys.